Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and whenever you may watch this replay. My name is Sherry, and we are doing the 100 Day Live, where we find our inner peace as we do art every morning before we go into our daily lives. And just to let everybody know, I am not feeling well today. I have a really bad sore throat, but we're gonna get through it. I'm committed to get us going on that. So just give me a minute here. We are just a little bit behind and of getting started. So um I wanted to get set up here. And usually I try to be set up before we get started, but it's just not happening right now. Um and I'm looking for something. Just one second. I feel so out of place right now. Ugh, I did want to show you that we are live. Oh, you got my coffee on the screen. We are live at the store. I know my voice doesn't sound like it. I probably don't look like it. I'm really excited to be launching to the general, to everyone, the conclave, and with the purchase of every piece of artwork is you will receive 4 postcard prints of all the birds with the purchase of an original. So please feel free to go and check out the my store, and I appreciate everything that you guys do, showing up for the lives and those kinds of things. So, any case, let's go ahead and get started for today. I don't know how long I'm going to last. All right. So yesterday we were looking at this one here, and we made these. We were working on outlining these items, and so I think I'm gonna. Sorry, as soon as my coffee kind of cools down, maybe I'll have some of those. But I was looking at maybe outlining some of these quote waves, as I would call them, with the Posca markers. So we'll see how that looks. Um, Mm. Okay, and it's just not working. Okay. Sometimes Posca markers work really well and sometimes they don't. And I've primed this one, but it's just not doing its thing right now. There it goes. And it just takes a moment, I guess, for it. Hard to see. You're not quite seeing it on that. So let's have more of a contrast. All right. Let's see what happens when we do the darker one. So it has more of a contrast here. I have just like this sore throat that won't stop. So just kind of wanted to outline those. You can't really see that on the screen, but it was working right there. And I outline this one over here. Let's see if we can get to a lighter area. There, there. Now you're starting to see a couple of them. I didn't do this area because it's just too wet right there. So it doesn't really matter what I do to this. It's just too wet. It's not going to really show. So we'll wait for that one area to dry before we continue. Okay. The reason why I'm outlining them is so that we could kind of get the motion of the waves here to show up a little bit better. There's like a little bitty faint one right here. And the rhythm of this piece is really interesting, that we put on this one. I really like the rhythm that this piece has. So it's almost like the artwork itself. Now let's see if we can get the light blue on this. Does that show up? No, it does not. That's disappointing. I'll just say that. I don't know what's going on here. I'm not happy with that. I'll just say that. Let's see if we could do, what would happen if we did a white? I must really use white a lot because when your white's out, it is out. All right, let's see what happens when we add like uh, on these. Let's see if white will show up on these. And we're going to go to the top side. No, you do not see the white. All right, let's see if we have a different white. Oh, this one I haven't even opened. And it's more of a ivory. So trying to just get it primed here. Oh no, that's too yellowish. Do not like that. Do I have another white? All right, let's see if this works. There we go. Yep. Okay, we got it. I want to give it the illusion by adding these two colors. I want to give it the illusion of movement. Some areas I'll be able to see, and some areas it doesn't seem like it. There, I like it. And you kind of can see the little blue right there, but we'll keep working out. I'm really trying to emphasize oh, the movement here. Of course, I put the blue on top instead of underneath. So that we'll have to go back over it. Because I wasn't thinking. Okay, so sorry I'm not doing a lot of talking. Just doing some thinking here. Okay. Can we see that now? Kind of, not really. What can you do? Just do the best you got. Hmm. I guess we'll be going in with darker blues and probably the whites because it doesn't seem like the light blue really wants to do its thing today. I'm going over just the texture paste just a little bit. The texture paste really does well with the Posca markers. It's not a rough texture, it's a smooth texture. So um, it really, see how bright that is compared to being on the paper. So that's something to really think about when you're using your texture paste. You can use your Posca markers with it. And so we're just looking at giving it some highlights here when that probably should have been a little bit of probably some darker blues. So maybe what happens, you see how this dips? I feel as though it should be like more the light blue. It should be right here to give it more of a depth in the artwork. And then maybe it blends into the light blue. Yeah. Let's see how that looks. Yep. So, because you got the highlights that are here and then the depth and it goes up. So let's go in back and add some more of the dark blue, especially down in here to simulate that depth. There you go. So contrast that with this white that's right there. And then you'll have the white that's on this side. Which is kind of like the wrong one. I got too many whites in my hands here. I don't know if you do that, but the way I work is I may have like multiple brushes in my hands and I'm bringing that darker blue down here to bring that back up on this side. So we're just shading with our Posca markers is what we're doing. With this one coming up, we're going to do some white there, hit it with the white, not all in the same places, but then using the darker blue on the underside there. Okay, so you see how those waves are really just coming alive. And as we continue to work this, and sometimes I find with Posca markers with the white, you really got to go back over it a couple of times, it seems like, depending on what medium you're working with. Um, and then you have the dark. I mean, this becomes really dark, right? Because of the it's underneath, it's crashing over. So these little bits are like blue, like a blue. Does that make sense? Okay. So these appear, they're further away, but they still get some highlight themselves. So we'll just add some white to that. up at the top here. Yep. Now, we do have this that goes down. So you have all this highlight and then you go down here. So you can have a little bit of white. It won't be much, just enough to get the outline, but um, because it's kind of like this down here where you're going to need some of that lighter blue if I can get it to do its thing. And down here's really dark here. So we want to make sure we have that really outlined as much as possible. Now see, it's going to have a little blue there, but you're going to have white right there on that edge, right here. And then it's going to fade into that. And then you're going to have it over here to kind of bring it back up. Just a little bit of white there. And then this here, it's going to be hard for you to see, distinguish what these things are. Again, I'm going back over with the white because I just don't feel like it's as bright as it should be. I mean, this one's really up at the top. Okay, let's see here. Oh, wrong blue. Blend that blue, yeah, a little bit. And then here, I was hoping for the lighter blue, but it's just not seem to be working. So I'm just going to add a really light, thin line of the dark. Maybe I can go over with the lighter blue this time. So just using the Posca markers to blend in. I don't know how, I've seen some amazing work that people have done with Posca markers. Like it is truly amazing. Um, and we're just scratching the surface here. Just a little bit of blue there. Because the light blue is just not doing its job. So you see how we have all those waves just moving. And it's really light here because they're up towards the quote sun, quote. And as it goes down, it gets darker. So that's what we tried to simulate here with our waves and our Posca markers. Now, what would be really fun is to maybe put something on the ocean. But how many boats have we done? So let's see what that looks like. We've done that a couple times. That's why I said that. Where we made a boat. You know, do I put the boat down here? That, you know, the situation's not very good for this boat. Let's see here. I like this. Maybe this is a better mast. I can't talk. Um, maybe not. I like this one. This boat would just in the middle of this storm here. It's not really a storm. It's just a really wavy, wavy ocean. Yeah. Um, it would get swallowed up. It's a tiny little boat. It's holding on for dear life. Yeah, that's what we're saying. What about this little boat? See if I can find a bigger bottom, even though that fits kind of well. And you can't really quite see it, but let's see what we got. Now we have this giant one we could use if we wanted to. It's got a giant hole in the cell. I can't talk. That might look a little bit better. I kind of like that a lot better. Now let's see if we can find a bottom for the boat. And if I could find that piece, which who knows where that's at. For those of you just joining, I have a sore throat. It's making it hard to talk today, but I'm here. I'm doing it. Okay, I like that a lot. I just not seeing the bottom of the boat that we could use. What does that look like? What would that look like? Is that just too? Oh yeah, that's not going to work. Hmm. I saw this piece here. I don't know if it will work or not. Oh, I like that shape. I like this shape, but I don't think it will. Well, maybe it will. No, you don't see it as much. And then I saw this. Nope. But I do like this shape. This is a nice shape. We just may have to repaint it. Take that jelly print and repaint it. I kind of like how the hard to see right now, but I kind of like how the shape of this boat fits into the shape of this. Uh, the sail fits into the shape of the boat. I like how that looks. So I think we might have to repaint this a little bit. Add something to it. Mhm. Let's see what this looks. Is there anything in here? No, these are just all torn pieces. Oh, well, maybe not. What is this? Maybe this is it. But it's the same color, but it's got the same type of shape. So, nope. I still like this piece. Okay. This is it. I just saw this piece. I was curious about this piece. Nope. Oh, did we find the oh, is this the shape? Oh, check that out. We found the shape. So we can fill that in. All right. Where are we putting this thing? I think we're going to put this thing. Is that where we want to put it? It is. However, okay. However, we need to do something with that. So, what could we do here? I have this big honking Posca marker. Is it primed? No, of course not. Oh no. I'm curious what would be a big swipe of yellow would look like. Oh, it's okay, it's coming. Just what you wanted to see, me prime my Posca marker. But here we are. All right. That works for me. Let's see what happens when we paint this whole thing yellow. Oh, wow. That just came out a lot. Haven't ever used a big pocket Posca marker like this before, except for on a gel plate. So now we'll just let that dry. Is that going to work as yellow? Well, we'll mess with it. We'll see what happens. We might do some other things with it. What happens if we just take some of the paint off to give it some texture? Yeah, want to give it some texture there. And yep, a little yellow boat. Um, we'll go back, of course, and do something with that, but we'll just let that dry for now. And we'll put that to the side. So don't forget, um, my shop is open. The conclave is there with every purchase. With every purchase of the conclave, you get the 4 prints, and if you just want the prints, those are in the shop as well. So you could purchase just the prints, or you could purchase an original. There's only a few that I have, so please make sure to go and grab one before they're gone, because once they're gone, they're gone. And so with every purchase of an original, you'll automatically get the prints. The prints also have the stories of each of the birds on the back of them. So again, um, I have very limited amount of prints, and we definitely only have a few of the conclave. So make sure you go do that today. It will open up, I think about I thought it was open. My apologies. It should open up about 9 a.m. So check your email for that. And with that, I hope you have a great day. Um, there might be a live tomorrow, and there might not. Depends on how much drainage I have and how my throat's doing. But thank you for hanging in there with me today and watching Ratchet Up Your Art. And I will hopefully talk to you tomorrow.